Adventure racing is a great way to keep fit. Here to tell us all about it is elite athlete, businesswoman and mom, Heidi Muller.
We are quite literally in the middle of nowhere looking for a little adventure. With me is Heidi Muller, one of USN's finest and a leading light in adventure racing. You guys will have noticed that I've been jumping on the opportunity to get into the wilder stuff. The ultimate goal is to become an adventure racer.
Very cool.
Heidi, what is it all about? Tell us a little bit about adventure racing as a discipline.
Adventure racing is a multi-sport. We basically throw in all the other sports, trail running, mountain biking, paddling. And obviously with a twist, it needs to be in pairs or in teams of 4. And normally it's one lady. So it's all the multi-sports together in one, and you do a distance from 25 kilometers to a 500 kilometer event, which is like the SA Champs, the big ones.
Now, tell us a little bit about your involvement with adventure racing. It seems like a labour of love.
Well, before I became full-time organiser, I raced for more than 10 years in South Africa and international. And then after that, we've decided, obviously, to start with a family. And when that happened, we thought, well, let's take all our years of experience and make it into a business. And we started organising adventure races, mainly in Gauteng, and now we're all over the country.
I've seen athletes come from all corners, some from cycling, some from triathlons. What was your discipline going into this, and what drew you to adventure racing? What was the spark?
I think the spark was the element of it. You don't need to be the best in only mountain biking, but it's more about the personality as well and the mental challenge to it. For me, I was an all-rounder. I could run, I could cycle. I never paddled, but I started paddling, and I was pulled in with a group of men. They just towed me and pulled me and dragged me all over the course, and I don't know what am I doing. And then the thrill of going through the night, no sleeping, the element of your nutrition, what are you doing now and then, how do you keep a team together? And I think all the other elements was for me the real pull into adventure racing.
All right, well, I will put my trust completely in you as you give me my first taste out on the trail. Let's come to grips with adventure racing. Let's go.
You'll need at least 8 weeks to train for your first adventure race. Start off with 30-minute sessions, building to 90 minutes in each of the 3 disciplines. Remember to also practice your navigation skills.
There you go.
Thank you. This is going to be very, very welcome. By the time I think at this stage I might need a little bit more than the H2O. How should I be approaching my supplementation out in the endurance field?
Well, for our adventure races from 25Ks to 500Ks, for me personally, I love Cytopower. It tastes delicious. I take 2 scoops in my bottle and I sip it the whole time, and actually every hour I make sure I have a drink. It just tastes wonderful and it works.
While reducing the risk of cramping, Cytopower also promotes rapid energy conversion and helps you keep your blood sugar stable by replenishing electrolytes, minerals and fluids during activity.
All right, it's one thing sustaining yourself throughout the race, but if you've got to get back on the saddle tomorrow, you've got to replenish, and there's a lot being lost. How do you replenish? What do you take to put back in what you've taken out?
The Recovery Max comes in handy. Every time after a race or even during a race, you drink your Recovery Max, and it will definitely give you some extra power and it helps you recover for the next session. While you're racing, it helps you recovering, but some sports, obviously there is a resting period, and it then helps you also to recover for the next day.
Recover Max contains whey protein, carbohydrates and vital electrolytes, making it the ideal drink during that critical 30-minute window after strenuous exercise when the body races to restore itself.
And I know a lot of diet supplements have a very bad rep, putting you on a sugar crash or leaving you craving a lot of things. Not so with USN's Diet Fuel. It looks like it really can sustain you.
Yeah, I love the product. It really tastes delicious, and I know in the morning when I start with my Diet Fuel, it controls my appetite, and it really takes me away from wanting to crave the whole time, bad foods. So, I'm a firm believer, just put it in my shaker, just drink it, and it keeps you actually, sustained and no sugar drops and motivated for the rest of the day.
Of course, adventure racing is a bit of a two-edged sword for you. Not only are you competing from time to time, but you're also a major driving force in the organisation of these events. How do you manage the schedule? How do you manage to keep yourself in such great shape? How do you approach your own personal supplementation?
Well, I think it's of years of discipline, and by now I definitely know what products to use. So I jump in the car, I just grab my sachets, my Diet Fuel, I pop it into my shake. I've always got my water with me, and it's like you insert part of your life and your routine. You just shake and you have your shake, and you go on until the next meal.
I'm ready for the second half of our trail. Should we do it?
Yeah, let's go.
Keep on going, Graeme. Beginner adventure racing is all about meeting people and discovering new places whilst learning about oneself. yourself. Find more tips and inspiration on usn.co.za and get out there and have fun.